Cool Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yamin of Revolution. Stick to the code. We all we got. But before we get into that, y'all be sure y'all hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Let's get right to the content. Salute.
Day. With the evidence presented by Nolan Wells' parents today on Good Morning America and their press conference, the 3 white boys on the boat should be arrested by end of day. If all goes well, they'll be arrested before I finish this video, and I'll see nothing in the comments but, Trent, you were right. They were arrested. Nolan's mother testified today that Warren, one of the white boys on the boat, lied to her face about having Nolan's phone. Attorney Benjamin Crump also testified today that the video that we have been playing for you guys for the past couple of days was in fact Nolan's voice on the island saying, "Give me back my friggin' phone." Nolan's mother also confirmed today that Nolan's Snapchat was deleted and he had 2 accounts. When Nolan's dad came to pick up Nolan's car, Jax lied about the keys being inside of his house. And the boat was at the judge's house in the middle of the night being cleaned. You could debate all day if they're guilty or not. Those 4 facts I just presented you are 100% enough grounds to arrest someone. And if you don't think those facts are enough to arrest somebody, sit back, relax, because I got more facts to give you, and then I'll hand it off to you, the out louders, to let me know what you think in the comment section below. Oh, and by the way, shout out to Colin Kaepernick for paying for the independent autopsy for Nolan Xavier Wells. All right, let's kick things off with Nolan's cell phone, because if you ask me, that is the key to this entire case. We have been hearing for days the phone was on the boat. We don't know how it got there. The mom had to track it. Well, Nolan's parents was with Benjamin Crump today, and they made an appearance on Good Morning America and their they did a press conference with Reverend Al Sharpton. During their interview with Michael Strahan on Good Morning America, Nolan's mom finally gave us the details surrounding this phone. And if you ask me, in my opinion, this is reason alone to arrest these 3 white boys that were on the boat. Now, I'm going to play the video for you in a second. Nolan's mom says Warren called her to say that Nolan was missing and never said anything to her about having Nolan's phone. Hi, Nolan's mom. Yeah, I know you've been hearing things that have been going on. Just want to let you know he didn't come back with us. We ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, bye, Nolan's mom. And his phone's in your house, bro? Are you joking? The only reason how Nolan's parents found out that Nolan's phone was at Warren's house is through tracking it on Snapchat and another system that you'll hear about. Once they found out where the phone was, Nolan's mom called one of her friends to go and pick up the phone. And that's how they got into the phone and found out some things. Listen to this.
So when I received the phone call from Warren, he's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone, they tracked it. And that highlights all these contradictions, Michael.
So our one fact that we know is that they lied about having the phone. Their plan was to keep the phone. Stupid of them not to turn off the phone or do whatever so it wasn't able to be tracked. But if you're doing something wrong, you start panicking, you don't think straight. Let me tell you why this phone is even more important. I played for you, I think Monday or Tuesday, an audio of a random person taking a video on Horn Island. And in that video, we see from afar a group of kids arguing and we hear somebody saying F something, phone something that we don't know. Today, it has been confirmed by attorney Benjamin Crump that that voice and the people that we see arguing was in fact Nolan and his friends. And I'm going to play the audio for you that's confirming from Benjamin Crump and the enhanced audio. And you'll hear Nolan saying, "Give me back my friggin' phone. That's my effing phone." What's on this phone, Warren? Why are you guys fighting over the phone? Why is the phone coming back on the boat while Nolan is still staying there? What is on this phone that is so important? And I'm going to let you know about some things that were deleted. We told you yesterday, now we have confirmation. Listen to Benjamin Crump confirming the voice is Nolan's, and then I'll play for you the enhanced video, and you can hear Nolan yourself saying, "Give me my phone." Take a listen.
And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, "Give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?" And so then his phone ends up missing.
Now I'm going to explain to you why this phone was so important, why Warren and the other boys were lying about this phone, why they, from what I think, they stole the phone from him, why they wouldn't give it back. There's something on his Snapchat that they wanted deleted. You're going to hear Nolan's mom say, "We got back his phone. The first thing we did was look at his Snapchat." He had 2 Snapchat accounts, and she says there was nothing in his stories. Now, whether you post on Snapchat or Instagram or not, there is one thing that's a fact. The people that post in their stories on Instagram or on Snapchat or on Facebook, you don't sometimes post, you always post. If you're the type of person that posts your meal, you post every meal. If you're the type of person that posts your daily routine, you always post your daily routine. You don't sometimes do it and sometimes not. This is his mother who knows him best. And I can guarantee you right now, you can ask any of his friends, and I bet you they will tell you that he posts all the time. You don't have 2 Snapchat accounts and don't post all the time. So why on this day, July the 4th, America's 250th birthday, no one is not posting? Those posts have been deleted. And I think they have been deleted by one of these 3 white boys. And that's why they wanted his phone. That's why his phone was back on the boat. And that's why they lied to his mother about having the phone. Again, why not delete it, damage the phone, and not be able to trace it? Well, good for you that you guys are dumb enough to not break up the phone so that it can be traced. Thank you, baby Jesus. I'm glad you guys are dumb. This is crazy. Nobody has a Snapchat account that posts all the time and doesn't post. We all know those people. Listen to the testimony today on Good Morning America from Nolan's mom.
When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos, like there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious.
To double down even further about the posting, for those of you who might say, well, maybe he decided not to post that day. This was Nolan's last weekend before he went off to football camp to train for the starting of his season. This was his last hurrah. This is what his father said today on Good Morning America. You mean to tell me you have 2 Snapchat accounts, you're 18 years old, and you're not going to snap anything of your last hurrah, your last weekend before your summer is over? You're not posting nothing? Nothing at all? Give me a break. Okay, now let's move on to some other key things that we found out today. We found out also today that the boat in question that brought out the 4 boys was seen in the middle of the night at the judge's house being cleaned. Now, the boy who owned the boat was friends with, if I'm not mistaken, it's Warren, and let's just say it was Jack's because it's kind of up in the air, but whoever owned the boat was not parked at the owner's home. It was parked at the friend's home that his mom is a judge. Now, we've read the statements to the judge already, but I want to know something. You, me, and two other people, we go out in the boat. We come back without one black kid on the boat. Nobody knows where he is. And we're in the middle of the night, and one of the guys who are on the boat, their mom is a judge, and I bring the boat over to her house and clean it in the middle of the night to make sure that the judge is like, you need to clean it with this product. You need to, that's good, and approve it. This is ridiculous. Like I said, these boys need to be arrested ASAP. As soon as I finish recording this, I better check and find out they're arrested. This is grounds alone for an arrest. We can argue about the guilt if you want. Some other things that we found out today are some of the alleged family members of the boys were out having dinner the night of July 4th and July 5th. Now, on the surface, that doesn't sound so bad. They went out to dinner, of course, it's July 4th, but there is one of your friends that are missing. One of your friends didn't come back. Why are you guys going out to dinner? July the 5th, the mom, people are out searching. Okay, his body didn't come up till the 6th, but if your friend that you were out partying with, your homie, are you and your family going to go out to dinner? You might go out to dinner if you want to create an alibi. Correct? We're not guilty. You saw us living our life. We're not here in fear. I find that very suspicious. Another thing that we found out today, this is testimony from Nolan's father. And his father says that he taught Nolan growing up to always stay with the group. Now, I'm going to be honest about this. He's saying that he raised him that if you go somewhere with a group of 5 guys, make sure you come back with the 5 guys, especially if you're on a boat somewhere, make sure you come back. Now, I'm going to be very fair. That's the one thing that I didn't really love today hearing. You could tell that that is a PR person building up, credibility. Like you would have to show me to believe that that's how you trained your son. You would have to show me in a text message or a conversation or, hey, make sure that you're going up with Warren Jacks, whatever. Don't separate from them. I'm not saying that he didn't do that or raise his son that way, but to start off the interview like that, it seems a little PR-ish. But it's the same thing that the judge was doing, and they're laying their alibi, so that is what they're doing. I'm just calling it fair. Another thing that we found out today is that Colin Kaepernick has been very supportive of the family and has paid for Nolan's body to be flown from Mississippi to Washington, D.C., and he's also paying for the independent autopsy. So shout out to Colin Kaepernick. We also found out that Tyler Perry has called in and said that he wants to help, and also Spike Lee. Spike Lee was at this press conference today. Now, the last thing that I'm going to play for you is a video from the press conference that the father led us into some new information. Nolan's father claims that on the night of July 4th, when they couldn't find Nolan and he was going around trying to find answers, he went to one of the boys' house and said, yo, Nolan's car is parked here. Where are the keys? And the boy said, all right, let me just go back inside. Let me check. He came outside. I don't got the keys. Then allegedly a girl that was there earlier called or got some sort of message to the dad and was like, he's lying to you. I know Nolan's keys is there. It's on top of the Xbox. Made Jax go back inside and like, oh, okay, I have his keys. What are you hiding for? What's in the car that you feel like you don't want Nolan's dad to have? Listen to this video.
Got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. So the guy, he's in one of the pictures, he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car was in the yard. His car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you.
All right. That is the facts that have just transpired that we have learned over the past 24 hours. Given that, everybody has said the family, the strength, the mother and the father shown today was exemplary, and I 100% agree. For these parents to be doing an interview in Good Morning America and doing this press conference and speaking so eloquently and speaking so strong just shows the character of this family, and I want to applaud them because I don't know if I would have been able to hold myself back with that much decorum and speak the way that they did. So I want to salute the parents. I also want to salute Nolan's real friends and real family. And I feel like that is where these parents are drawing their strength from. I'm going to play a video for you because I think I've been playing a lot of factual videos. I want to play like a feel-good video for you guys of Nolan's real friends and real family members getting together at Nolan's mother and parents' house. Take a look. All right, that is all I have for you today. Sound off below. To me, arrest. I pray that while I'm recording this, I pray that these boys are arrested. We can argue all day if they're guilty or not. You guys know what I care about the most. Facts and receipts. Arrest those boys, do an investigation, sweep the house, sweep the phone, get on the phone with Snapchat, get on the phone with every sort of social media company. I want Facebook. I want everything swept. I want Katie, the car, the boat, the judge. Get a search warrant, get everything. Present to us the facts and evidence. Then I want a fair trial, a fair jury trial. It's in Mississippi, but let's get the arrest first. Y'all let me know. Am I wrong? Am I right? You think this is not factual? Sound off below, all right? While you are sounding off below, and let me know your opinion.
Nolan Xavier Wells' family just hired Ben Crump to get on the case. And ever since then, there have been so much information. The medical examiner, Stacy Turner, y'all are not going to believe this. Chief Medical Examiner Stacy Turner is the same medical examiner from the Trey Reed's case. She's the one who deemed Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving after he was in some problems with 4 white boys. So it's the same thing that happened, y'all. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all get the likes up. You are not going to want to miss this one right here. And make sure you hype this video.
Okay, what is your name and your job title?
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
How long have you been at DPS?
It will be 5 years as January 1st.
What do you love most about your job?
I really love the people I work with.
She loved the people that she worked with so much that she's willing to lie on these young black men and deem their unalivings self-unalivings and totally ignore that they were around white boys. Check it out, y'all. It gets deeper. It says state medical examiner Dr. Stacy Turner ruled Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving. Trey was found from a tree at Delta State University, Mississippi, y'all. Chief medical examiner Dr. Stacy Turner has been accused of falsifying autopsies of black men before. Yes, she's been lying. This is why Benjamin Crump is going to transport Nolan's body to Washington, D.C. I believe he should get there tomorrow, y'all. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Put this video in the algorithm so our people do not lose the fight. We have to be optimistic about this whole situation because this stuff is happening for a reason. Everybody in Mississippi about to be exposed, y'all. In July 2021, she ruled Damian Cameron's death undermined despite arriving swollen, bloody, and bruised. So everybody that's unalive, that's black, she ignored all the signs. And why did they have to identify Nolan's body through his dental records? Why is that? There's something that they're hiding. 2 deputies had knelt on Damian's back for 20 minutes before his... Come on, bro. Make sure y'all get the likes up, hype this video, get this out there in the algorithm. Let them know our people is not playing. So Colin Kaepernick funded for Trey Reed's body to do a private autopsy, and we still haven't got the results from y'all.
What they found through their autopsy was that he was possibly manually strangled and then placed in the tree after his death. We also now know that he had an altercation the day before with 4 white students. And the reason why is because he was coming to the defense of his younger sister, who was under attack by these guys for comments she made online about Charlie Kirk's death. The authorities are saying that they have identified these 4 students, and we cannot leave this alone until we see the end of it. This is like literally.
And they're hiding their identity. The same thing they're trying to do with Nolan Xavier Wells. Accusers, the people that were on his friends, that was on the so-called friends that was on the boat with him. They're trying to hide their identity, y'all.
Well, the fact that they continue to tell the family that we don't see any evidence of any foul play, even though you have students who recorded an altercation while they were on the boats of argument where you had Nolan and somebody yelling at one another on the boat. So that's the issue. And then you have the young lady make a statement and she says, well, Nolan and I finished talking and Nolan said he was going back to the boat. And then the boys on the boat said, no, Nolan told them he was going to stay with her. And so they are conflicting. She's saying he went and got on the boat. They saying he didn't get on the boat. So which is it?
Exactly. Which one is it? I'm going to tell you which one I believe I think it is. I believe he was set up. That's why Nolan's real friends, his black friends, said, look, bro, you need to be careful out there. We not going out there. And this is why they're trying to hide the identities of the friends, because the so-called friends that was with Nolan, they have other friends, and their friends have other friends, and their friends' friends probably have other friends that probably, allegedly, I don't know, maybe with the 3Ks, maybe the offspring of the 3Ks. We're talking about Mississippi here. What are we talking about, y'all?
As far as we know, his mother, Christine, and his father, Elmo, said they haven't gotten any answers. They, have been asked to turn over his cell phone to the Mississippi law enforcement authorities. But even that is troubling to them because they're saying messages that were deleted from his cell phone. So they want to try to dot every I and cross every T and investigate everything. They said it's very improbable that Nolan would not have wanted his cell phone with him if he was going to stay on the island.
Mm-hmm. The deleted text messages on his phone, his parents found that? Who found that out?
No, well, they got his phone, so they're trying to figure out there's deletions on the phone and they're trying to look at what is that about. There's so many inconsistencies going on.
There you go. Deleted text messages. Deleted text messages. Where's the first 48? Where's the forensic files? You mean to tell me the examiners, y'all don't have none of this state-of-the-art stuff all of a sudden? Where's the FBI? Won't y'all go into the phone and unlock it like y'all do the YNs when they out there unaliving one another? When y'all want to go lock somebody up and have them working free labor in your damn prisons? Where's the technology at? Now all of a sudden y'all don't know nothing about no technology and y'all just want to write this off as he was going to go swimming. And he was a strong swimmer. He's an athlete. I'm telling y'all, these boys was jealous of him. They probably seen this, you know what, in the shower. And they probably got jealous. I'm telling you, I know how these people get down, y'all.
Sunday, they go looking for him. They don't find him. Monday, he just magically washes up, but he wasn't waterlogged, which means he wasn't in the water long. So it's like his body was put there. Okay? So understand this. When they went to identify the body, they had to use dental records to identify Nolan Wells' body because he wasn't able to be identified visibly. Why? What prevented a visual identification? He was bruised and battered and beaten. We still don't have that autopsy, which was due yesterday, which means it's now overdue. And why is that?
They're trying to cover it up. What's done in the dark shall be brought to the light. There's no professionalism in Mississippi. I'm telling you, them people are not smart enough to try to cover this up. I hope and I pray Ben Crump do not let his foot off the gas. And we should do the same thing. Y'all see they news reporters? These people clumsy. They sloppy. Check it out, y'all.
Hey, good morning, Brandy. We got word here just at about 8:45 that there was a body found on Horn Island, and the officials are now working on bringing that back. Now, as of right now, we do not have an identity.
Shut up. Where the hell they get him from?
What?
Where did they get him from? And why ain't nobody iron his shirt before he got on camera? These people can't hide for long, y'all. The jig is up.
This is too much to just try to sweep under the rug. No, we want to have a thorough investigation as if it was 3 black boys and a white boy who was with them ended up dead. We want that same investigation.
You have such a history with civil rights cases. Are you suggesting race is an issue here?
Yo, get him out of here.
We're talking about the state of Mississippi, and we know, based on the history of America, in the Deep South, there have been many racial killings where there were nobody held accountable. We don't know what happened here, but we cannot forget history, and we have to respect his parents saying that we want an independent investigation because we're not trusting people who are affiliated with Mississippi law enforcement. We have too many lived experiences as black people in America.
This is why I say, as parents, we must teach our children this history and stay away from people who always try to say, oh, that was the past, leave that alone. Listen, bruh, we gotta protect ourselves. We are around people that hate us. This could no longer go on, y'all. And I pray and hope when they get that young man's body and transport him over to that private autopsy, that they find what we need to get these people up out of here. Because that lady, Stacey Turner, she is not it. I'm telling you, allegedly, she's been lying, y'all. Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? That's my boy, and I want to see him get justice. Those are the words of Javon Williams. Who is Javon Williams? Javon is Nolan Wells' best friend. Nolan Wells is the 18-year-old who was brutally murdered in Mississippi while on a boat trip with his white friends. Now, law enforcement won't say that he was murdered. In fact, they're acting as though there was no foul play. They're acting as though somehow, some way, Nolan either committed suicide or he just slipped and fell and drowned or some kind of way. Even though his friends were acting suspicious and they changed their stories and they went dark, they took down their social media accounts. First, they put them on private, then they deleted them altogether. And the mother went on Good Morning America and said, hey, you know, we had to track the phone. We had to track his phone to his friend's house. They wouldn't give us the phone back. So we tracked it and then we got it back. So family, you tell me, what do you think happened when Nolan was out there on that boat with these boys right here? What do you think happened? Now, I only need intelligent people to respond. Because I'm telling you, fam, I was checking out an article on TMZ about this, and I saw people in the comments saying things like, "God, that guy really is speaking well." They're saying this about Javon Williams because Javon Williams was taking the position that this had nothing to do with race. But check it out. When he was first asked about whether it had something to do with race, he was asked that by Charles, who's, you know, the black guy who's always with Harvey, and they're like a tandem. They, you know, go back and forth asking questions and stuff. So when Charles asked him, hey, you know, you think this has anything to do with race? I'm paraphrasing. He said, at first, he said, I don't want to answer that question. Now, so Javon has white friends. He admitted, he said, I got a lot of white friends. You know, it's normal, you know, in this type of community, it's normal. You know, it's normal. We got white friends, whatever. So, so he didn't want to answer the question, right? You know why he didn't want to answer that question? Because he knew it had something to do with race. Because if he thought it didn't, if he really believed that it didn't have anything to do with race, he would have jumped out there immediately and said, no, I don't think it had anything to do with race. Because he still has white friends. And he don't want those white friends to be uncomfortable, and he don't want their parents to be uncomfortable when he comes around. He wants to keep his white friends. And if he really do believe that they are his friends, well, he should want to keep his white friends. But because I would want to keep my white friends, but not at the sake of acting like what happened did not happen. You see, my white friends are just going to have to understand that black people out here dying, and they oftentimes are killed when they're hanging out with their white friends. Well, I don't want to say oftentimes, but anytime somebody is killed when a black person is hanging out with all white group of friends, it's always, and I mean always, the black person who gets killed. It's the black person who don't come home. It's the black person, and nobody knows what happened. None of them knows what happened. They always, it's the same story time and time again. He was distraught. He was talking about suicide. It was an accident. I think it may have been an accident. He may have committed suicide. We don't know what happened. Like they initially said, these dudes right here initially was like, oh, we don't remember. At first, we don't remember. So somebody probably said, you know, that ain't gonna work. Come up with something better. He got on another boat, you know. And let me tell you something, fam. In these type of situations, we're talking about Mississippi also, remember that. In these type of situations, I would not be surprised one iota if law enforcement didn't coach him. Law enforcement comes on the scene when black people end up dead in these type of situations. Invariably, law enforcement shows up and immediately rules it a suicide. In fact, I think they come up with suicide before they even go out there. I think when they hear about black kid missing, or what's the circumstance? I don't know. It's our friend, and who are you? And I look, is everybody there white? Okay. Hey, come on, Bob. We got a suicide. Black kid and drowned, killed himself or something. Yeah, we got suicide. I really do believe that's what's going on because they're too consistently on code. The way these things turn out, the outcome is too consistent. It's like they never say, okay, this one right here, okay, somebody did. There is foul play. We do suspect foul play. They always say immediately, suicide. We suspect suicide. Suicide. It's never we suspect foul play. It's always we suspect suicide. Now, why is that? Law enforcement is on code, especially in Mississippi. Now that do not give Texas a pass. It don't give Florida a pass. It don't give Alabama a pass. It don't give South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia a pass. It don't give Mississippi a pass. Yeah, it don't give Tennessee a pass. It don't give California a pass. New York, Chicago, Minneapolis, all of y'all. Some of y'all be thinking that just because y'all live up top, or y'all live on the East Coast or the West Coast, it don't go down out there when y'all see what these people doing in y'all cities and states also. Some of y'all got it bad looking at what's going on in the South. South, I ain't surprised. It's the South. If it's in the United States of America, I ain't surprised. I don't give a damn if it's in Ohio or Wyoming, Iowa, Idaho, Utah. If it go down in America, I'm not surprised. This boy has been compromised because when you have white friends, oftentimes people bite their tongue and they don't speak as openly because they don't want to make their white friends uncomfortable. When you have a white significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, oftentimes you're compromised because, again, you don't want to upset them because white people hear so much about racism going on in this country. The last person they want to hear about, hear that they call complaining is their spouse. And when their spouse talk about these type of things, oftentimes they're going to get some pushback. And now they got to go to each one of them. They got to go to neutral corners. They got to go to their neutral corners and then try to figure out a way to come back together, patch everything up, and make everything cool again. So this boy is compromised. He's compromised by his relationship in close proximity to whiteness. He's compromised. Now, here's the thing. See, I got several white friends. And my whole thing has always been, and my white friends listening to this podcast, they know how I am. They bought my records. They've listened to my records. They've listened to me in the community. They've heard me speak at events. They know how I feel about this racism stuff. They know how I feel about injustice. They know. And so I'm going to call a strike and a ball. Is it all white people? No, it's never all anything. It's never all black people, anything. But these uncivilized mutts are not going to get a pass. If you are my white friend and you can't distinguish the good from bad, wrong from right, evil from good. If you can't do that, you ain't on my side. If you can't understand what we go through, and you'll never completely understand, but let me put it like this. If you can't empathize with what we go through and understand that when people are wrong, they have a right to complain. but then after they complain, they got to do something about it. So in my way, I do something about it on a daily basis. And one of the ways that I do something about it is bring awareness to stories like this. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop speaking out about what's going on out here so nobody can feel comfortable. Not even my Black friends, because some of my Black friends get uncomfortable about this sometimes. You know, they don't want to talk about it. They just think that, hey, man, let me just close my eyes really, really tight, and maybe all of this racism stuff will go away. Yeah? You think so? I remember Morgan Freeman saying, being asked one day what this guy, the interviewer, said, so how do we stop this racism? How do we stop it? And Morgan Freeman, with all of his years of wisdom,
to our queen,
with all of the life,
revolutionary salute to our queen Yaya's kids for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, queen. Revolution is a way of life. She says she keep up the good work. Cool. Figure TV, we appreciate the news you can use. I appreciate you helping to keep the lights on here at the House of Revolution. Salute.
He's lived and everything he's seen, said, just stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Well, Morgan Freeman may as well have closed his eyes and just wished it away. Stop talking about it. Imagine going to the doctor and you say, doctor, something's wrong with me. You know, I got a pain in my knee. And it's really, really hurting me. And the doctor say, and you say, well, how can I get rid of it? And the doctor say, well, stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. It'll go away. Imagine some person having cancer going to the doctor for a treatment. The doctor does a biopsy and determines, yeah, you got cancer. And you say, okay, all right, what's the plan, doc? What we gonna do? How we gonna get rid of this cancer? Well, we won't stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Man, if you don't get out of here with that ignorant nonsense. And see, what they'll do also, fam, is like when you speak out, especially if you got a prominent voice, what they'll do is they try to gaslight you and they'll try to shame you, saying things like, oh, he's a grifter. Oh, he's a what's some of them other words they like to use? A race baiter. It's a race baiter. You know, they want you to be silent so they can be comfortable. Ain't none of that shit gonna work with me. I'm telling you straight up. Ain't none of it ever work. I've been doing this for 37 years now. 37 years, calling a strike and a ball a ball. I love all y'all. The ones who love me. You love me, I love you. You hate me, I hate you 1,000,000 times more. And ain't nothing you can do to make me like you. Nothing you can do to make me like you. Nothing you can do to make me respect you. Yeah, and it's absolutely nothing you can do to make me fear you. Well, what say you, fam? Drop a comment.
Wells' demise, and some of it is really interesting, you know, because I remember years ago when these things would happen, white people would pretty much be silent. You know, they wouldn't really say much, but it's really this one, I notice a big difference. Many of them are more inclined to coming online and speaking what they think. And I'm astonished at the amount of white people that are coming on advising Black people from children to adults to stay away from crowds of white people. Don't go anywhere. Even they're telling you, don't be no only black friend. And I was listening to a woman yesterday, and she was saying, if you are black and you are friends with a white person and you're their only black friend, she said, just stay away from them. Stay away from them. It's not even, she said, it's best not to even continue the friendship. Just stay away from them. Now, I know I have been saying for years, I've been saying it since I've been on YouTube, that no, y'all can't do that only black person stuff. You know, that has never been safe. Never. Never. And what happened to Noah has happened to probably hundreds or even thousands of our people. And look at how many missing people from our community goes unresolved. You know, things are just real shady in this country. And it's always been that way, racism being the biggest component of it. But now I'm seeing more white people than ever before speak out against what happened to Nolan. So we're going to watch some of those videos. Now, yeah, there were some, oh, well, what about the white kids? Oh, it's not fair. I don't want to hear that, because we hear that all the time. We hear that all the time. Whatever. So anyway, y'all, let me share my screen. Shabbat shalom to everybody in the chat. Not that one. Hold on. Hold on. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I found this scrolling on social media. Let me know what y'all think about this.
I saw a TikTok where every one of the boys who was with Nolan has deleted everything from their social media, which is a white response. A human response is to pour all of your energy and effort into grief, if not support, for what has happened. But a white response is to implode on the self and to uphold and protect and perpetuate whiteness and protect it like a virus. So when black people say they would never send their black child to be alone with a group of white people, I fully support that. And if I had a black child, I would say and do the same thing. If you were white and you don't understand why black people wouldn't send their kid to be alone with just white people, then you are not safe to be left alone with a black child. Even racist white people can acknowledge that black culture is valuable. And the problem is sometimes that worth that black people bring to the table is exploited by white people. So it gets them into relationships where people are really consuming them rather than being in relationship with them, which is a trap. It's no credit to a white person for them to see the value in black culture. But white culture in its nature is exploitative, and it will take. So it's important that we teach our children not to mistake relationship for consumption. And that same system has been evolving to protect white people and has been perfected over hundreds of years, sort of like an apex predator or a great white that has been evolved to be the perfect predator. I saw a TikTok where every one of the boys who was with Nolan has deleted everything from their social media, which is a white response. A human response is to pour all of your energy and effort into grief, if not support, for what has happened. But a white response is to implode on the self and to uphold and protect and perpetuate whiteness and protect it like a virus. So when black people say they would never send their black child to be alone with a group of white people, I fully support that. And if I had a black child, I would say and do the same thing.
Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section.
This woke white woman tells the truth about this Nolan Wells situation.
If the situations were reversed, if the circumstances were reversed, and it was 3 black boys who took a white boy out and the 3 black boys came back and the white boy did not, it wouldn't matter that they didn't know what happened. Those 3 black boys would have been in handcuffs. Those 3 black boys would still be in questioning to this day. I can see the Fox News headline now, right? They would have used it as proof. See, we told you black people were dangerous. We told you black people were bad.
And that's big facts. The double standard is real in America. If 3 black boys went to an island with 1 white boy, and those 3 black boys came back from that island without that 1 white boy, and that 1 white boy was found dead, those 3 black boys would immediately be arrested, and those 3 black boys would immediately be looked at as guilty. Not only did those 3 white boys leave that black boy on the island, but they have now all deactivated their social media accounts and lawyered up. Their parents have also deactivated their social media accounts.
Okay, I have a message to white people. Please stop. I am so tired of hearing people say that what has happened to Nolan Wells, that race is not a factor. It is driving me absolutely insane. And look, I understand why people are saying it, because they want it to be true. They want to believe it. And I want to believe that too. I want to believe that an 18-year-old man, a black 18-year-old man, can go out on the lake with an entire group of all white friends and end up the only one dead and race not be a factor. I want to believe that. However, when our black community is saying this case brings up fear and suspicion and memories of other tragedies that have involved black people where there have been a lot of unanswered questions, instead of telling them they're wrong, we've got to listen. Our own desire for comfort cannot be the priority, because I have never lived life in America as a black person. I do not have those experiences. I do not carry that history. So who on earth am I to tell someone else that what they are experiencing and what they are feeling is not real? We have got to have enough humility to understand and accept that someone else's lived experiences may reveal things that I can't see from where I stand. So again, I think that people want to believe that race isn't a factor because that's where we're comfortable. But our comfort is not prioritization over truth, and it's certainly not prioritization over someone else's experience and someone else's feeling. So again, what we need to do is listen, and what we also need to do is ask ourselves why we are so quick to reject the possibility that race is a factor in this.
I know it's important that we have a conversation about black children, black people, black humans in predominantly white spaces. That said, I feel like so much of the conversation right now is just a layer of guilt that's being placed on the mother of Nolan Wells and on the father of Nolan Wells, as if they did something wrong. And they did their job. Every story, every account, every coach and parent who speaks of him just speaks so highly of the child that they raised. They did their job. They raised a smart, brilliant, kind, dedicated. Being a college athlete is a lot of work, who sacrificed, like all those things. They did a good job. They raised a good boy. The people who didn't do their jobs are the mothers of those white boys. They didn't raise good children. They themselves are not good people. But Nolan Wells' mother is a great mother, and she should not have any layer of guilt about what happened that day. I know that as a mom, I'm going to sit here and weigh, like, I should have done this, I should have done that. You raised a beautiful boy that everyone freaking loved. Those people didn't raise good children.
I will never, ever, ever begrudge black folks and folks of color for saying they do not trust white people. And a terribly upsetting example of that is what happened in Nolan Wells. He spent 4th of July weekend with 3 of his friends who he thought were friends, and they are white. He is black. And Nolan Wells died. We don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate. That doesn't do anything for anybody. But we as white people have not given people of color, especially black folks in America, any reasons to trust us as a collective group of people. Full stop. And if you are a white person and you are bothered when black folks say they don't trust white people, think of this moment. Think of the unfortunately countless other moments in American history where white people have been instigators of violent crimes against Black people. Because whether you like it or not, that is American history. It is. And you can't escape it. But we can do something to change it. And that starts with every one of us white people interrogating the white supremacist ideologies that we were raised with and our society was built upon, and it is our job to undo it. May Nolan's soul find some peace, and may his family find some justice.
If my son was with a bunch of people and he was the only one that didn't come back alive, nobody would come back alive. All of them would be dead. That's what should happen. And there's a reason why Black people don't trust white people. This isn't happening in a vacuum. Nolan Wells was a member of the team, went to the same school, was friends with all of them. Except he's the one that ended up dying. He's the one, his actions got questioned because he's Black. If it was a bunch of white kids, they wouldn't ask, well, what was he doing? What was he saying? What was his behavior? Those are the kind of questions that are being asked because he's Black. But all of them should fucking die. If that kid didn't come back alive, none of them should have.
I got a message for white people. So if you're not white, I guess keep scrolling. Your skin looks like this. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this to you. It is not your job, your place, your right to dismiss, diminish, criticize, question the lived experience of people of color. It is not your job to define what is racist and not racist. I have deleted so many white friends on social media in the last 48 hours because of the Horn Island, Mississippi case involving Nolan Wells. Black people should be outraged. Black people should be absolutely fucking outraged. They should be asking questions and demanding answers. I pray for his family. I pray that this was a tragic accident. Okay? However, history has a really funny way of repeating itself, and I did some digging this morning, and I was searching and sleuthing the internet for cases similar to Nolan Wells, and the number of times that a Black child or Black adult goes missing or is after they have spent time in a predominantly white space. And it's disturbing. So I understand that there are a lot of different versions of events circulating the internet, but white people, I'm going to need you to sit down on this one. I'm going to need you to take a seat because Black people, the Black community, they are responding because of lived experiences, because of how these cases play out, because there are so many times where an innocent Black child or innocent Black adult is no longer with us after spending time in a white space, and there is never a conviction. There are no answers. For all the white people on my social media platform saying, just let law enforcement do their job, Black people pulling the race card, they should. And law enforcement clearly does not always do their job. Okay, so again, it is not your job as a white person to decide what is racist or not. And if you come into my comments talking shit, or I'll block you first of all, but not after I investigate you fully. Okay, like I'll find you because that's what my background is in. And I'll probably contact your employer. So again, white people, shut the fuck up and sit down.
Nolan Wells wasn't killed by his friends. And this investigation just started. I mean, his body was found just yesterday. Give the investigation some time before we start hearing these crazy ass stories. And the amount of people that are saying that he was killed because he was a token Black guy in his friend group is fucking insane.
Yeah, we're not doing that shit. What you make it out to be is like some innocent, well, it's not the friends. Don't get after the friends. No, what you're doing is you're victim blaming. You're putting this at the feet of Nolan Wells. Like he is somehow at fault for what happened to him. The fact that he is dead is on Nolan Wells and nobody else, because it can't be his friends. Where's the human sympathy in this? Where's the address of Nolan Wells, the person, and saying, I'm sorry for the loss, for the family's loss, who lost a son, for Nolan Wells, who lost his future? You're going to come on here and immediately take up the side of something you know nothing about? You say we know nothing about it. You know nothing about it either. So don't come on here and put this at the feet of Nolan Wells. The young man is dead. Somebody is responsible, and people need to figure it the fuck out.
All right, y'all. Boy, you can tell we are getting near the end. There are so many things happening in this world, and I'm starting to see things happen to them on a scale that I never saw before. And it is absolutely crazy. I don't know if any of you get any type of news in your emails. You know, I always get the alerts and everything, but they're not getting away with things quite like they used to. Things have definitely changed dramatically. I want to show y'all something that came to my email this morning. Y'all know there is a wildfire going on in Spain. It's a wildfire going on in Spain. And it was people traveling down a road in their cars, and they literally all got burnt to death in their cars from the fire. So their cars literally turned into their coffin. And I know what happened to Nolan. You know, we all are feeling it. But one thing I always notice, a standing pattern: whenever things are done to us, just sit back and wait. Usually, like a day or even a few days later, you'll see something happen to them. And it's usually in numbers. So a bunch of people over in Spain got burnt up traveling down a road when wildfire was going on. And I guess they didn't anticipate the fire would, you know, hit them on the road, but it did. It did. So, no, don't ever think they are getting away with something. That has never been true. And don't think that the Most High will not get even more in the next few days. And what I mean is, y'all, there is another heat dome over America, but this time, instead of the East Coast, it's going to be more of the Midwest. So they're going to be in triple digits from now until the very end of the month. The heat dome is not going to move, y'all. These folks in the Midwest are going to endure triple digit temperatures from now until the very end of July. Do you know how many people are going to perish? These folks can't handle those kind of temperatures. That's why you're seeing them all drop like flies over there in Europe. Well, those same temperatures are about to hit in the Midwest in America, and they're talking about some places can go as high as 115 degrees. So they are now part of the heat dome. Now, we are going to get a little bit of it if you're on the East Coast. We are going to get 4 days in the 90s, and that's it. That's all we're getting from this heat dome. But the ones that are going to take the biggest brunt of it are in the Midwest. So, oh yeah, honey, it is, the heat is definitely coming, and it's going to unalive a lot of people. It is, even here. 111 in Virginia, Breeze Omega. Yeah, that's crazy. But this is going to be Texas, the northern part of Texas, and then you'll see, because I'll be showing you this at I think at 5:45 today, because we have our Bible study coming up at 1:45, and I'll be showing you, and the dome is huge. And can you imagine a heat dome parking? Because that's what it's doing at a certain area, several states, and it's going to stay parked there until the end of July. That is like crazy to me. That is crazy. So no, the Most High is getting these people for all the dirt they have done. Oh yeah, they're not getting away with anything. I know it seems like it sometimes, but they're not. So y'all, thank you so much for being here, and please enjoy the rest of your Shabbat and the
a lot of research and history, right, is to limit interactions as much as possible. I mean, I think we have a lot of people within our community that we could talk to. I think that we could, I'm sorry if I have to stay alone to keep myself safe, I will stay alone and teach your kids sometimes it's safer being alone in your house than to be with a crowd. And I'm not saying every black person is good either, because they got some black people that's no good. But one thing I can tell you about our people, we usually could kind of spot our own when they thrown off, when they foul, when they got nothing, not, hey, like, hey, that dude's in the streets, or she's this, or whatever the case may be. You just see and hear some things, and we know our own people. But when it comes to that, to the folks, what get y'all so much is that nice stuff that get y'all. I don't know why it get y'all like that, but it really get y'all. Y'all really, oh, they just so nice. And how many times have white people come out and say that nice stuff is fake? They've come out and admitted more times than one that nice thing they put in front of you is fake, because when they go home, they calling you all kind of N-words and stereotypes and all kind of things they're calling you. White people have said this, so we can't even say the white community isn't even warning you, because they are. I see the videos constantly of the white community warning you. Now, if you being a hard head, you don't want to listen to black folk, you don't even want to listen to white people tell you and trying to look out for you. If you don't want to listen to them either, there's nothing really much I can say for you. What could I do when you're being warned constantly? It's not the same as this, and it's always going to be the same. It's always going to be the same. Well, this one was not. Maybe he was. Maybe she was. It doesn't. Haven't I taught y'all individuals versus the collective? I know I've taught y'all that. I've said that word so many times to y'all. An individual may be cool, but not the collective. Because the collective, we just look at collective thought. The collective thought of many groups don't have good things to say or how to treat us as black people. That's just based off of what they have interacted and done with us. It doesn't mean I walk around all day long thinking about everybody go get me, because no, I'm not even thinking like that. But I'm not stupid, and that's okay. I'm like, the way I think, I'm not even really even focusing on other groups of people and what they got going on. I just know who I choose to be around. And we have a choice to choose Black people who we want to be around. We don't have to be around whoever we don't want to be around. And so when it comes to your kids, it's your choice what you put them around, though. That's your choice. So many Black people out here saying about this Nolan Wells situation, about these Black parents that move to these lily white areas, sticking their kids in these lily white schools, and they the only one, then they go through hell in these schools with the racism. And so many Black people are saying, condemning those parents, say, you're doing that for you. You're not doing that for them kids. You're doing that for you. So you say, oh, I live in this neighborhood and my child goes to this school and your child is going through hell in that school, going through pure hell. The teachers treating them bad. Everybody treating them bad, but your kids in this particular school. But would that be, so what Lisa says, just stay away from crowds of the wrong group of people, period. Yeah. I would say definitely stay around. Listen, any drug, anything bad, stay away. Trust me, yes, I agree across the board. But when it comes to them folks, that's a different thing. Listen, yes, I know our kids can get in trouble. Yes, different things has happened with other Black people. But one thing I can say, we don't really hear our kids going with other Black people and come up floating in the doggone lake somewhere, or they in the woods mysteriously unalive themselves with some, I don't know where they got the rope from. I don't know. There's nothing on camera showing them going to Lowe's, Home Depot buying it, or some sort of place buying it. But yet they mysteriously got it. They brought it with them. Sorry, I don't really hear that too much. I've been covering this stuff for way too long. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I studied what I gotta be careful because of the AI reading everything. I've studied how we take ourselves to the next life. And the number one way we take ourselves to the next life is medication. That's the number one. Number two, the second way we do this is through a self-inflicted wound with you know what I'm talking about, right? And then a third and minimal way is the way that them folks claim that we keep doing that. That's extremely like maybe like small, like maybe 1%. But the majority is, like I said before, medication. And we know our people. We have ancestral trauma. We don't even want to look at something that even reminds us of that. That's just encoded in our DNA with the ancestral trauma. So, with that being said, most definitely what Lisa's saying. We appreciate y'all joining us, and thank you once again for supporting the African Diaspora News Channel, and definitely supporting our app. Remember, like I say, your support is part of the wealth transfer, and you're supporting Black-owned media for sure. We're doing all kind of things constantly, and with more and more your support, we can do new things that gives us opportunity to do or expand our universe, expand different things that we're doing. Give you an example. I'm gonna give y'all a preview of something, a picture though. It's not much. Because of your support, right? And the different things that y'all do to support us, I want you to look at something on the screen here. Now, who is that on the screen to the left? Do you know who that is on the left? Do y'all know who that person is that's being consoled? Who is that? I know the chat know who that is, right, chat? Now, there's something going on this picture, ladies and gentlemen. And who's that on the left, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, I know y'all know who that is. I know I'm not the only one know who that is. Did my chat freeze or something? Hold on. Give me a second. All right. So anyway, back to the chat. Now I can see now. All right. So let's give you a hint. The person on the left that's being held, You don't recognize who that is from? No. Come on. I know y'all. You look at the hair. Y'all can't figure it out about the hair. Who it is? Y'all must have been watching long enough. Okay. So on the left, some people don't know who that is. Okay, that's LaSherica on the left. Now she's sad for a reason, and we'll find out later. We'll find out later why she's sad in this photo as part of a show we're working on just with LaSherica. So yeah. So things like that. So we're trying to grow, expand, and your support is helping us to grow and expand different things that we're doing. And we can only do it through your support. And I thank you for your support. Because we have so many ideas that we're trying to do outside of the same thing. That's kind of what it is. These stories are very important. We're talking about here, like Nolan Wells and others we talk about. But beyond with y'all, sometimes I need a break. I need a mental health break from this stuff because it's heavy. I've been doing this stuff 14 years, to be honest with you. I have reported on so many people have been tragically taken away from us. These people attacking us. It has not stopped in the past 14 years. And so when I'm doing different things like doing music or doing, expanding the universe with the different people we have, like LaSherica, whatever we come up with, it's better for me to do that. That way, when I come back to do this, I can go hardcore and give y'all my best, right? So, but I want to thank y'all for support that we can continue to do these sort of things. All right, so let's go ahead and cue this up real quick, and we'll be right back to get into this heavy topic that we got to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed. And
it's here, like Demetra, Wangel, Emma, Renelle Way, Vicky, Lenient, Juan Gary, Afia, Shay. I hope I didn't forget anybody. I'm just calling everybody's name. I'm glad they're here to do content because at one point in time, it was all on me, and it used to really, a lot. It would weigh down on you. So if you are a content creator, I'm letting you know, take a mental health break, or even sometimes you want to create, but sometimes get in the creation space. We're not so focused on something that's so heavy and tragic and stuff like that. Do other things, right? That's why with the music, you don't hear me talking about nothing political, nothing. It's all about love, emotional connection with the music, have fun, whatever the case may be. Yes, on AfroWire, we do discuss things that I don't feel it on AfroWire because LaSherica and them is doing it, but I feel it when I'm doing it, right? So it's just totally different. All right, so let's get to the first video. I want to show Nolan Wells' parents. They got Benjamin Crump with them. Now, some people may complain about it, but here's the thing: Benjamin Crump do have access to the media, and he can get you a little bit out there with the case. And, Benjamin Crump is a civil attorney. He's not a criminal law attorney. So it's nothing that he could have done for Carmelo Anthony because that's not his wheelhouse. But let's go ahead and play what the parents had to say here. And then it's some other stories that we want to get into as well outside of Nolan Wells. So let's go ahead and cue this up real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like, I'm not. He was like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe that story, I'm going to stay behind and I'm going to leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents are telling us about. Even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday, why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there's so many questions.
All right. So Benjamin Crump is saying about the phone situation. No, listen, I'm a grown doggone man and wouldn't leave my phone like, oh, leave my phone with y'all and I'm gonna go over here. Why would I do that? Why? I gotta have me some communication. I'll be another thing. I don't like going places there's no cell phone signal. I really don't. I mean, if I really have to go somewhere, a place on cell phone, there's constantly no cell phone signal, I'm gonna have to get much as I would want to. I would have to get Starlink or something. Because, you know, I'm really not too big on Elon Musk like that, but, you know, Starlink is what it is. I would have to get something. But they say that out there, that place where they was at, they didn't have no cell phone service. Well, it makes sense because they're going out there toward an island location. So then, you know, there's reports are saying that when his body washed up, you know, his lungs wasn't full of water like that, like a drowning. So that's also what people are asking questions about. Now they say also people saying the family was searched that same area was supposedly the body was found, and they say they didn't see anything. You know, so and it was around 6:00 in the morning or so. Some of the families say they were doing some searching. Now this is Mississippi. We know the history of Mississippi. Mississippi is one of the most racist states in the union. Some of the most hardcore white supremacists were there. Mississippi, Alabama, states like that. It's the reason why you had to get the Voting Rights Act. Those states, you had to have the Voting Rights Act. How many times did Dr. King and them and many people, you know, movies like Mississippi Burning and all that, you have the most hardcore of the hardcore white supremacists in Mississippi, and they're still there. Poor, ignorant, and racist. And my brothers and sisters that live in Mississippi, they can tell you. They definitely can tell you. I remember I had a brother I used to work with. He was from Mississippi, and he came down here to Houston. And, you know, he was happy just to be here because all the opportunity they had, you know, versus where he came from in Mississippi. I think he came from, what city? Was it Jackson he came from? I forgot where Big Mike came from. Anyway, I know it's Mississippi, but he was talking about, you know, just the racism and just certain things, you know, the certain sundown town areas, you know, you don't go around there. If you will come up missing somewhere playing around up there in Mississippi, you know, he would tell you that all the time. And I'm like, how do they still live like that? And you know, this federal government. And we know the federal government right now, the Trump is on one, but you know, even forget Trump. The prior federal governments before Trump, Obama, Biden, different ones, all these so-called cases are happening to black people. They did the anti-lynching act and all this stuff on the federal level, Emmett Till bill, all that they did. And yet not one person has been convicted of it, because y'all know why nobody's convicted of it? Because the police is in on classifying everything that can be considered that as a, you know, unaliving of themselves. They always hurry up and say it too. It's like, it's no investigation, like nothing deep into it. It's like, let me do some investigation. Let me see what the day is. Let's see the cell phone. Let's see the cameras. Let's see, because when Julio Fulio, when you remember that rapper, when they took his life, they had cameras from the time they did it to the time they got away. They literally had them pinpoint on every camera. We live in the most surveilled society right now. They can hack into your phone, look at you. It's cameras everywhere, AI. But yeah, when all this stuff happens, they never have no video. It never shows anything. You remember the story about the brother that supposedly did that to himself in that what's that university? Was it Delta? I forgot. It was the Delta State or some university. I have to look at the thing again. And it was no cameras on a college campus. Really? Just mysteriously, the cameras don't work. No cameras. It's like they always get away with it. When are we gonna have some people get in the DOJ that's finally gonna say, you know what? This not a conspiracy. These police is in on it, and we got to start prosecuting people because none of this stuff is being investigated. And do you know why they do not want to classify that as really what it is? I had to think about that. The reason why they don't want to do it because if they say that, then they know what's going to happen out of it. They know an uprising is going to happen. It's guaranteed to happen. And they're gonna have to prosecute people, and laws gonna have to change. Because they know last time they were doing that to black folk and they was admitting that's what it was. Why you think we had so many uprisings during the time of the civil rights movement? Why you think that? Because black folks say, oh, hell no. And black folks was about to have this country go under. They were scared this country was gonna fall, how black folks were acting in this country. So some way, somehow down the line, they sat down with each other. This is because now I don't even say that. This is just my theory, my hypothesis. They sat down with each other and said, look, we can't say that's what this is. Because last time we were saying that's what it was, and look at what happened. We can't keep having that happen. So some of them say, you know what? Let's just say they did it to themselves. You think that'll work? Well, most of them believe us anyway, even though they shouldn't believe us, but they believe us anyway. Anything we say they believe, even if they see with their own two eyes, they still believe everything we say. So let's try it. And that's what they started to do. And we're not going to investigate anything. Look, we know what happened, right? But we're going to continue to say that's what it is. No investigation, no nothing. Y'all remember I went out to a case like that in St. Louis with Donye Jones. Remember I interviewed his mother? And when I went out there and saw the tree, had heard everything, especially when it's saying tying a bunch of Navy knots in a sheet to do that, I say no black kid know how to tie no Navy knot. Not know some young black boy like that at that age. You know good and well he didn't do that. We all knew that. But yet, and when I went up there to St. Louis and talking to the brothers and sisters in St. Louis and just seeing how the get down was in St. Louis with them folks, and they was just like, man, y'all think the South is bad, man. It's bad up here. And I'm like, when I talk to the brothers and sisters in St. Louis, I'm like, man, I mean, it's like that. Like, yeah. Don't y'all get it twisted. Y'all just think the South, so that's why I'm definitely a firm believer of Malcolm X or what he said about anything south of Canada is the South. He's talking about the whole country is the South. That's basically what Malcolm X was saying. A lot of our brothers and sisters in these northern states are going through it. You think they ain't got no sundown towns in up north? There's plenty of them. Even in 2026, you're talking about a sundown town. And that's another thing. All this stuff that happened to black folk. I see Haitians right now dealing with their situation with TPS, and I seen a brother say something. He was so spot on. Africans too. So okay, the one brother said, and look, I believe in this. The one brother was saying, "How come Haitians you believe in all this voodoo and all the other stuff that y'all do, but y'all don't do that to them?" How? It's the same thing. I remember when one sister used to be here. Her name is Clarice, and she would cover those stories about all the witchcraft they'll do themselves in Africa, right? And all these bad things we happen to each other doing witchcraft. I don't believe in no witchcraft. But what I'm saying is, y'all doing all this mess and y'all don't do that on your oppressor. Y'all do it to each other. Now, in the Bible, God says, I bless those who bless you, and I curse those who curse you. Right? So you can speak blessings, you can speak cursing. That's what the Bible teach, right? But yet all these black folks talk about they're Christian and never pronounce no curses on these people. I've done it from this microphone several times. Why? Because, hey, the Bible say, I curse those who curse you. I mean, shoot, look at it. It's okay to pronounce some cursing on them. Let's say you cursed. You curse. Your land is cursed. Your womb is cursed. Your health, your mental health is cursed. Your pocket is cursed. Your children's cursed. Everything about you is cursed. Why? What's wrong with saying it? See, the white folks telling you, oh no, you can only do blessings and this and that. No. All this evil happening to us, sometimes you got to speak back to this mess. Be wise. Of course, be wise. Don't hand your precious babies to opportunity. It's like this. Would you hand your baby or your 2, 3-year-old, 5-year-old to go play with a rabid dog that you know that will bite? Not only bite, but this dog has been known to take lives. Some of you have literally gave your small children, even teenage children, to an equivalent to that. Then you wonder what happens. Now, I understand at the same time, when they get 18, you can't do much. Trust me, I understand. When they go off to college, you can't do much. You could tell them, and only as a parent of grown kids, I can tell you that. You could tell them all day long what not to do, who not to get involved with, who not to get in relationships with. You could tell them all day long. You can be the most pro-black person ever, and your children can still choose an opposite direction of that. That's something that you can't stand as a parent. But they gonna have to make their own choices, unfortunately. Hopefully the choice they make don't have them away from you permanently. But that is the truth. I mean, because I'm telling black people this. You can tell your kids all day long about, I tell you this. Reality speaking, no, I can't even say that. Let me not even say that. Let me shut up, because you know what? No, let me refrain what I'm about to say. They choose what they want to do. Some may take your world and your advice, and some of them may go completely opposite. Now, let's get to another story I want to cover too. Let me get this on the screen. Now, we heard about this one on Juneteenth. I gotta watch this word I'm putting on the screen because like I said, it's the AI reading everything. All right, so y'all heard about a young lady by the name of Tonea Miller, a 27-year-old black woman. She was found unalived on a TREE. Try not to say that's after traveling to Miami to celebrate Juneteenth. Now they claim it's unproven. Okay. Now they say investigation by Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office and the county medical exam found the circumstances of Miller's death consistent with, unaliving, right? They say that a statement released June 24th. They say Miller was found unalived June 18th, one day before June 10th, the annual holiday. Okay, they say, speaking of news conference, Miller's sister, Terry Miller, staunchly rejected the authorities' conclusion. Of course, we know our people. They said the Miami-Dade branch of the NAACP said on the June 26th, Miller had been found. You see there from a tree. It said the sheriff's office had not, included detail in his statement on Miller's unaliving 2 days earlier. It said clear whether next of kin independent autopsy, because the claim it said that she unalived, it said by, that word there, the L word, was unproved, and we leave this claim unrated. That's what they're saying. Now, this was a young lady right here, 27 years old. She was found. Okay. So this stuff is serious. Now listen, let me tell my sister something too. Let me talk to y'all. I got another one to show you too. I'm not just done. I'm not done. I've been seeing a lot of conversations about Miami as of late. And they got this young lady. They call it. I know this is. I'm talking about this is very important. This lady called Woo Lady online. It's this Haitian. She's Haitian, and she's sitting up here trying to teach young women to have dudes trick on you. And really, what she is at the end of the day, she's a pimp. At the end of the day, is what she's doing. Because I heard what she's saying: bringing girls to clubs and meeting dudes and XYZ. That kind of woman is selling y'all. No dude is going to pay for you and don't expect nothing in return. They're going to put you in a shipping container somewhere and ship your behind to Dubai, or put you on, as they say, 79th Street out there, and you're going to be on the blade, all right? Stop thinking that these men is going to buy you bags and all that sort of thing. They're going to put you in human trafficking. Some of these men are going to unalive you. You have some sickos out there and all over the world. No man, I'm telling you, as a man, men that's spending money on you want something in return. Maybe your daddy didn't tell you that. Maybe he wasn't around. I'm telling you, a man spending money on you, he wants something. He not doing that for free. No man gives you a dime for free, sis. It don't matter how you look. Who cares how you look? He wants something in return. These people are devils. And don't let a woman online sit up here lying to y'all, thinking some guy is going to trick on y'all and have y'all unalive somewhere or in a shipping container going to Dubai or the Dominican Republic or wherever they're shipping you off to. Human trafficking is a real thing. A lot of black women are missing behind that same crap. That's why I got to warn black women and girls, don't sit up here and be glamorized by some woman online lying to you about tricking. These men are crazy. What's that woman I covered a long time ago, Mercedes Moore? She was sitting there playing that tricking stuff with a dude, and he came there and took her life too. Right here in Houston. There's nothing to play with. Y'all got enough coming at y'all just with the white supremacists. And to that woo lady woman, that Haitian woman, you know what? Doing the crap you're doing, I don't know if you're a citizen or not, but if you're not, I hope I used to get you, because you're leading too many women to horrible end. I hate that crap, man, doing that to black women. Oh, I hate that. Anyway, let me get to the next thing. I just can't stand. I can't stand when people lie online and use their platforms to do so much harm to the black community. Nothing in this world is free, and you got to work for it. And there are women that work for it and get it every day. They don't have to take their clothes off. They don't have to shame themselves. They don't have to do whatever. Stop going to Miami thinking these dudes flying you out and this. No. They about to put you in some human trafficking, or they're going to take your life, one of the two, or have you strung up on drugs and got you on the blade somewhere. Let's get to this next one here. Yeah, that kind of stuff just makes me angry, y'all. Personally, it just makes me angry. Now, let's get to this next picture here. Now, this young lady, 16-year-old actually. Now, where's my African brothers and sisters who immigrated here to America? Africans, you're not exempt either. Now, when it benefits everybody black. But then some of you come to this country and you think these people are so nice, and all these black people, they just make it about race too much. Okay, we make it about race too much. Got it. Well, maybe we make it about race because everything in this country is about race. But the young lady you see on the screen there is 16 years old. She was missing since April. She was found unalive on a TREE. According to police and said media reports, Juliana Nazita, I guess how you say her name. She recently moved to North Carolina. She's from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's Joy Reid's people, the DRC. Okay, she just come from the continent. I said she was found earlier this month, unalived on a TREE near the United House of Prayer for All People Church in Charlotte. Police said her death has been classified as the same old thing I told you. I ain't got to go there. Authorities said Nzita was reported missing since April 28th, according to North Carolina Beat. It's an independent local news outlet. Her family searched for her while online posts until spread across social media. Area resident Kenneth Tolbert said he was near the church on May the 8th when he spotted what appeared to be a body of a teenage girl. Well, you know what? Unalived on the TREE. I gotta say it, trust me, the AI is listening. Tolbert said he alerted church members and police. Tolbert reportedly provided video footage showing a small blue chair under a tree. And the rope above the girl's feet still close to the ground. The church member reportedly said the area had been checked the day before and saw nothing unusual. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department records confirming Zeta was pronounced It's unalive 12:40 p.m. May the 8th. It said the report document the location and said initial findings. Investigators said they received no response from the family when contacted. The church reportedly released no public statement. Okay, so and it's so many more, y'all. It's so many more that they finding all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. So let me say something to my African brothers and sisters who immigrate to America. You're not exempt. You are targets just as much as we are. My Caribbean brothers and sisters, you're targets just as much as we are. I know Caribbeans should know that a little bit better than the Africans, but you're not exempt. It don't matter if they lie to you and say you work harder or you got an education more than those FBAs. Don't matter. They don't like you either. We all black at the end of the day to them, and any one of us would do when they want to do their satanic evil and bloodthirst for the blood of the black man and woman, no matter where we come from. You better stay with your community. Okay, you African and y'all hang with Africans. Okay, do your thing. Caribbeans with Caribbeans, or you want to be. Listen, let me tell you something. The best way to be safe in America, Africans and Caribbeans, is to get with the FBAs. You need to get the thorough education on the nation you immigrated to. You don't know nothing. You know nothing in this country. You don't know the wiles of the devil. You don't know it at all. We know the wiles of the devil. Get with us, and we will teach you the ways to keep you safe. Because the Africans, I see some of y'all be doing the same thing too, like Nolan, unfortunately. Being around these folks by yourself, going to school with them by yourself, hanging out with them. Okay. You come up missing too, and a lot of you are coming up missing. It's not just the FBAs. We got to be smart, black folks, Africans, Caribbeans. You have to understand what you're dealing with. These people are doing the most because they know their time is up. They know they're living in the final hour of white supremacy. So they think they're going to their reign of terror on black folk. And if you are not smart and if you don't follow certain rules, they will get you. It's bottom line. It's too easy to get you when you're hanging around them. But if you don't hang around them, they gotta do a little bit more to get at you. You know, my grandfather used to say this back in the day when he always said this: a woman should never be on the road at night by herself. He used to always say that. I'll say, why? Why is that? Say, no. He always say, nope, you going somewhere? A man going with you. He used to always be on that. Well, my grandfather also grew up and had the time of the civil rights movement. You know, he was born in 1919, so he's seen the worst of the worst. So it may be time to get back to that, especially you live in them areas that's really bad. You women, sometimes you think that you know what you own, you think you equal to men. You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. No matter what that white woman tell you or that listen, you need to have a man with you. You need to have a man, your brother, your cousin, somebody. You're gonna be hanging out at night and all that. They see a black woman alone. You're vulnerable. And these people love a soft target. Now, I'm not saying they won't target a black man either, but you know what? If it's a couple of us together, it's a little bit harder to target you than just by yourself. And just be careful where you're at the same time. Where are you at? Where are you going? Drive on highways that's very populated. Don't be on these back roads nowhere. Oh, they love to get you on the back roads. Places with no lights, stay places where everything is visible. The highway is even best because there's cameras all over the place there. Stay in places where you can be seen by cameras and everybody. Don't duck off nowhere. And for sure, don't go to the woods. Whatever you do, don't go to the woods. Oh, you say you learned a lot you say through your father who was heavy in the NOI? Oh, yeah, the NOI, they got the best education. The Fruit of Islam, they know security. It's not about being afraid or something. It's just all about you just have to think 10 steps ahead of your open enemy. That's all. You got to think 10 steps ahead. Don't put myself in a position where I can get got. It don't matter if it's them. It don't matter if it's just a criminal. Don't put yourself in a position where you can get got. Prime example, a woman, if she leaves her purse in the car where anybody can see it, right? A criminal see that, they're gonna bust the window and take the purse. Why? Because you set yourself up for your purse to be taken. What I mean by that, do things where you can, like I said, we'll go back to what we said before, prevention. Prevention is a little easier than dealing with, the things that may come along with not doing prevention, right? So women don't put their purse out in the open. If they do leave it, they may put it in the trunk. They may do whatever they may do and may look around and see who's around. Women park places where you can be seen, park closer to the door at night, park in well-lit areas, look around the area, see any weirdo. If you see any weirdos, stay in your car. Okay, stay in your car and look. If that weirdo won't leave or whatever, well, shoot, you leave. And if he try to attack you, listen, it's easier to attack back with that car than anything else. If they're leaving something on your windshield or whatever, don't take that off. Because sometimes they lace things with that. You gotta be careful, ladies. They're trying to get y'all all the time. Black men, you too. Some of these women, will try to lead you to different places and then get you got. There's plenty of black men that got like that. Little Becky in them, you think you like you, she's leading you somewhere, and then got the Klan waiting on you. You got to be careful out here. Got to be careful. And trust nobody. Sorry, you just I don't trust in a lot of people. I don't. Because I know the propensity of evil from a lot of people based off just what I've done for the past 14 years. That's why I just kind of sometimes like to get in my own world, just create worlds that's positive and safe and fun and stuff like that. Because the real world is a dark place. The real world. They got some great people in the real world, don't get me wrong, but it's just a lot of evil in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your best piece is creating a place of solitude. That you don't have to deal with nobody, because humans are interesting, very interesting. You say you don't go in a place without your husband? Hey, there you go. But see, you know what? You got something that some women don't. You got a husband. All that content online about, divorcing your husband, and you hear why they divorced him. Like, really? That's it? It wasn't that he was beating me, cheating on me, doing me dirty. No, I just want to go find myself. I just want to. Okay. Okay. Until something happened and you realize, look, God wants men and women to be together, especially in our community. I don't care what other communities do, but I believe brothers and sisters need to get together, get married, have families, and because there's no community without family. There's no community without family. There's no community that built themselves off a bunch of single people. That don't work. Single people do not build community. Only families do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure to click the subscribe button, the like button as
true history of Haitian and French contribution to New Orleans. So how can we shut that down once and for all?
Oh God, what did they say?
He just went on and on about how dumb we are and how ignorant we are about not knowing the contribution that Haiti And then he went on about the Louisiana Purchase. And, you know, he's the master of straw arguments. It's amazing. But yeah, if you could give us something that we could just come right back with in terms of solid history, it would be appreciated.
Yes, Lee, thank you. Yeah, I done broke that down many times with Haitians who call up with that. We shut them down every time. Every time they come in with that Louisiana Purchase thing, we break that down. Remember, I had one woman, that Haitian woman, who was just lying her ass off. Everything out her mouth was a lie, because most of the time they're just lying. You understand that? It's just lying. She was like, yeah, we sold y'all the Louisiana Territory. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That was a secondary consequence of the Haitian Revolution. Napoleon was fighting multiple wars. He needed money, so he sold the Louisiana area to the United States. Haiti didn't sell it to us. And also what that did was expand slavery. So it really kind of bit us in the ass, you know? But yeah, that's the thing. These people be lying their ass off, family. They can be shut down very quickly and easily. And a lot of us do. We shut them down. Speaking of Haiti, I saw a post where some woman was talking about, yeah, these foundational Black Americans say that, a lot of us Haitians couldn't get over to the U.S. without them, but we Haitians we've been coming to the U.S. in large numbers since the 1700s. Family, they never come over here in large numbers until the damn 60s. Family, let me talk slow. So these folks talk about all this influence and all this shit that they've done. Family, by 1960, there were less than 5,000 Haitians in the United States. It was like damn near none. It's like nothing. You understand? In the 1700s, when the revolution pretty much got started, you had white people from Haiti coming over, or from Saint-Domingue, because it wasn't even Haiti yet. And some of them brought some of their enslaved people, some of them. Very small numbers. Very, very small numbers. Hold on, wait. Taino, hold on, wait. Taino, hop on. Is that Rohan Taino? Because you trolling in the chat. Is that you, Rohan Taino? Hop on. If you don't hop on, I'm going to block you, because you're not going to just be in the chat room trolling. Taino, either hop on. It's either Rohan or Austin. Either get in the comment, get in the chat, or we're going to block you immediately. All right? You're not going to just be like a little biatch trolling in the comment section. All right? You got 10 seconds to get on. All right? You got 10 seconds. Now you got 5 seconds. All right? And now you're going to get blocked. You cannot troll. You're going to have to go to your other Finster account. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I just blocked him. I blocked him. But yeah, all of this stuff about them coming over here to the U.S., and you weren't coming over in large numbers. In the first half of the 1800s, you were damn near non-existent coming over here. The U.S. government didn't even recognize Haiti until 1862. This government didn't even recognize Haiti. They formally recognized them by 1862. So before then, there was not a diplomatic environment that would allow you to come over from Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. And the 1924 national origins quota system blocked all of these non-white immigrants. Yeah. In the early 1900s, U.S. immigration, it was strictly governed by that Immigration Act of 1924, the John Reed Act, to be specific. They established severe quotas designed to preserve the U.S. demographic, ethnicity, and all of that. So they were just really letting over a lot of Europeans, and Northern and Western Europeans like that, just severely restricting and just banning Africans, Asians, Caribbeans. remember, in order for Garvey to get over here, the black folks down in Tuskegee had to fight for that. So yeah, the little handful of Haitians who would come over in the 1920s and all that, that was us helping them then. So yeah, y'all don't get to do that. Y'all not gonna sit up and say what we didn't do. Every time you were able to bring your ass over here, it was us helping you. Yeah? Let's be very, very real. And they didn't start coming over into massive waves until after 1965. The Immigration and Nationality Act, that was what it was. Yeah? And that was a direct act of us. That was us pushing that line. Yeah? But listen, the handful of Haitians that did come before the 1960s, many of them were coming on I think they were F1 visas. They were coming over on student visas, and they were going to HBCUs. We were still helping them. You understand? Notice any Africans or any Caribbeans who would come over before the 60s, they would be at the HBCUs. Tuskegee had black foreigners going to there. That's what Garvey was really trying to do what Tuskegee was doing. You understand? Which is what Tuskegee is still doing. Tuskegee is still there doing its thing. Shout out to Tuskegee. Garvey was trying to do what Tuskegee was doing. Yeah? It's deep. But yeah, these people were being held by our HBCUs. Somebody mentioned the Hart-Celler Act. Right, the Hart-Celler Act. Who mentioned that? Somebody mentioned the Hart-Celler Act. And that was because of us too. The Hart-Celler Act, that was influenced by us. You understand? What was the Hart-Celler Act? That was the Immigration Act that lifted all of those racial quotas and all that. The senators and the politicians, the politician Mr. Hart and Mr. Seller, I forgot what their first names are, but yeah, it was Representative Emanuel Seller. He was the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. He was working directly with a brother named Clarence Mitchell. That was an FBA brother who was rocking with the NAACP, FBA. That's the person who was in Emanuel Seller's ear. And Senator Hart, the Hart part, he was clicked in with Philip Randolph, another foundational Black American activist who was very instrumental in the civil rights movement. You see? Yeah, Hart relied entirely on the Leadership Conference of the Civil Rights, the LCCR. The LCCR, that was an FBA founded and FBA led coalition by A. Philip Randolph, Roy Wilkins, all these people. They built the infrastructure and organized the boycotts and marches and put the economic pressure on everybody. So they were working directly with Hart-Celler. I'm showing you names that y'all can look up. Look up these names. Y'all look up all these names I'm telling you. That Hart-Celler Act was directly influenced by us. We were the main ones in their ear pushing that line. Dr. King, all of that was there pushing that line. Them FBA lawmakers were right there in the trenches whipping them votes up. Yeah? Adam Clayton Powell Jr. out there showing out there in New York. You know, he was the chair of the Committee on Education and Labor, pushing a lot of anti-discrimination amendments. You understand? Brothers like Charles Digg out there in Michigan, a lot of these FBA brothers, Augustus Hawkins out here in California, were pushing heavy to get those racial quotas off the immigration. You know? And the U.S. government didn't change the immigration laws just to be fair. We forced them to do that because they had to save face on a global scale. See, foundational Black American spokespersons, we were the ones holding up the mirror. Dr. King and all these people, they were taking our plight to the international stage, to the international press. And they were pointing out the blatant hypocrisy of America. You understand? And we were saying, hey, we want to click in with the African nations and the newly independent Caribbean nations and all that. We were going out there saying that. That's why they kept calling Dr. King a communist, because he was putting all the shit on Front Street. So we got to put everything in context. So yeah, well, I'm not letting nobody say what the fuck we didn't do. We did it all for your ass. Don't ever let nobody try to say what the hell we didn't do. They didn't get nothing going on without us. Nothing. Not a damn thing, nothing. And if anybody can refute that, hop on this stage now and tell me what you got over here without us. Hop your ass in here and just prove me wrong. Because these tethers, they get real slick at the damn mouth. You dig? And that's not gonna fly. We sacrifice too much for all these folks to have any inkling of disrespect from them. They didn't have nothing going on over here. Let's just be real with it. Not being mean, but y'all not just gonna come over here after we done lifted you up and then just show all types of disrespect. Fuck all that now. Nope. Y'all raise your hands. Let me see. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Yeah, we don't have them riders like that no more. Yeah, the Adam Clayton Powells, and he was a rider, man. You know, back then, man, cats stood on it. They stood on it, man. They were rocking out. Ralph Bunch, man, we had riders out there. Now, you know, we got a bunch of tether politicians now. Yeah. We got Wes Moore, Byron Donalds, Obama, Kamala. What's the common denominator? Huh? Good grief. Let me see. Oh, we got New Orleans on. I saw something where this dude was from Senegal. He was trying to hold on, New Orleans. Let me get you one second. Hold on. This dude from Senegal. Hold on, let me read this, Mike. He was like, yes, if you look at Senegal and France, you know, it's just like New Orleans. The same thing. The food, the architecture is just like New Orleans. And when I leave Senegal and go to New Orleans, I feel like I am in Senegal when I'm in New Orleans. It feels just like Senegal to me. Oh, God. Dude, look, listen. Y'all know I was in Senegal in January. There is absolutely nothing in Senegal that's even remotely similar or close to damn New Orleans. Literally nothing. Where in the hell would you get that from? There's literally nothing. There's nothing about that reminds you of some damn New Orleans. The food, nothing. The food don't taste like no New Orleans food. The music ain't like New Orleans. They ain't got jazz in no Senegal. The buildings and the architecture ain't like New Orleans. Literally nothing. People be trying to Africanize and Caribbeanize New Orleans all the time. They want to latch on to that culture because New Orleans culture is so unique. It's such a unique, foundational Black American culture. People feel like they got to try to other it and co-opt it. They try to make it like Haiti. And I've been to Haiti, all over Haiti. It ain't nothing like no damn New Orleans either. When Roland and those dudes talk about all this shit Haiti brought to New Orleans, how come it ain't in Haiti? Those buildings don't look like buildings in New Orleans. The music don't sound like the music in New Orleans. The way the people talk is not the same way. The food is not the same at all. Do you understand? I've been to Haiti. A lot of folks have never been. I've been to Haiti. I filmed a movie down there. Cool people, very nice people. The food ain't the same. It's just not the same. If it were the same, people would be big. You don't see people making a big hoopla about Haitian food. No disrespect, but people, where are the Haitian restaurants? No disrespect. New Orleans is FBA. That's an FBA city. Shit. Yeah, they'll try to get into the voodoo. Yeah, okay. Good Lord. So have you seen the Haitian McDonald's, Lord? Yeah, Louisiana is it's its own thing. You understand? Louisiana is its own thing. Good grief. What's up, Money Love? Money Love, what you talking about, Money Love? Hop on in here. Oh, I got my brother New Orleans in here. New Orleans, hop on in, brother.
Yo, what's going on, Tyreek? What's happening, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you, sir?
Yeah, you've been dropping gems, bro, for a minute now, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Got my 2 sons watching you. They love watching you.
Oh, I
12
love
years
it.
old and 9 years old.
Oh, love that, young man. Love it. Love it.
But yeah, man, Haitian, bro, we to be honest, bro, the first time I heard of Haiti was I watched a movie in the 90s, and it was about voodoo or something where they was blowing dust in people's faces and turning them into zombies. It was supposedly based on a true story. That's the first time I heard about Haiti. I know a lot of Louisiana history. Nothing about Haiti ever came up. These people are full of cap. They think just because we were enslaved by the French and they were enslaved by the French that we are brothers. That don't have nothing to do with it. It's like the English went to the Philippines. Do that mean that we are brothers and sisters with Filipinos?
Right.
Because we were all enslaved by them? That's crazy, the logic. But you know what? Back to the native thing. For anybody who's wondering what's the possibility that Black people were actually here before any white people showed up or the so-called Red Indians. All they got to do is study the research by the anthropologist Roland B. Dixon. Have you ever heard of him?
Well, I haven't heard of that guy, no.
Yeah, he was a Harvard professor of anthropology. And he dug up bones from Massachusetts to New York and all the way down through the South. Every skeleton he dug up, he concluded that they were Negroes. He said they were indistinguishable from the Negroes who we call freedmen, in his own words, freedmen, which is our ancestor.
Oh, yeah.
They canceled this guy. They defunded him and canceled him because with the Walter Pleckert scam, all of that was in effect. So that was like in the late 1800s. His book didn't come out into the 1920s, but his research been 30 years before that. This guy found no evidence that these skeletons that he studied were none other than our people, Negroes.
Oh yeah.
So y'all check that out. Just if y'all get a chance, just look that up. His name is Roland L. Dixon, anthropologist, Harvard anthropologist.
Yes, indeed.
And I'll learn right there. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you might be talking about Roland B. Dixon. Might be Roland B. Dixon, because there was another anthropologist. See, a lot of times in the 1800s, you had a couple of white people who would tell the truth. You had a couple of white people who would tell the truth and say, hey, man, if you start looking at the works of Leo Warner, there's a few of them, Constantine Rafides, these early white anthropologists, because anthropology was at the 1800s, it was a relatively new thing. You understand? 1800s, before that, nobody was doing no anthropology. So by the 1800s, they have now, scientific mechanisms to do carbon dating and things like this. They can kind of trace things. So yeah, they start digging up stuff, and if a practice is new, you're going to basically tell the truth at first. You don't know about the cover up and all that. But a lot of these people start digging up all these bones over here in the United States, and they're like, hey, there's a bunch of Negroes over here for a long time. And then early 1900s, they all got on code and had to start lying and covering things up. They had to, they got funding by all of these other nefarious corporations to kind of say, no, we can't tell that truth. Because we don't want these Negroes to understand that they're from here too. Now, well, we got to really push this Africa thing. Let's really push that Africa thing so they ain't hitting us up for no money. We make them feel like they're foreigners. You see? That's why they always try to act like these white professors or whoever who tell the truth. They act like they're crazy and they try to dismiss them. They just found some bones in California. They're trying to put them together. They're doing some studies on them, and they found out these bones are like human remains are like 13,000 years old. Every time they find bone, let me tell you something. Every time they find some bones over here in the U.S. that's ancient, you never hear about them. Notice they are so damn secretive about archaeological digs over here. They're extremely secretive. You know what? Because you're going to dig up some Negroes. That's why they're all secretive about the Grand Canyon. There was an article that came out in the newspaper. A white dude was like, yeah, we found some Negro bones and we found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. And they start spilling the beans. And all of a sudden, later on, they tried to say that was a hoax. It was in reputable newspapers. Then they had to backtrack on it. They always do that. They'll tell the truth and then backtrack and say, oh, no. He was high when he said that. No. He was hallucinating when he said that. Then they'll try to back it. Why would he lie about that? No, you know how people be just saying shit. He's just saying shit. Who's that? If you can't Google somebody indigenous to land, if you can't Google someone indigenous to land, man. Yeah. You start digging up people over here, you're going to dig up us. That's why they keep them damn archaeological digs hush hush. You don't ever hear about archaeological digs publicly over here. Now we hear about some of them down there in South America because they, their media is a little more honest down there. That's why Lucia woman, they showed you exactly what she looked like, a black woman. Let me see. Yeah. Y'all raise your hands. A guy entered the Grand Canyon for 21 days. I got to look into that. Let me see. All right. Stealth. Let me see. Let's get Stealth in here. Let's get brother Stealth. Hop on in, Stealth. Let me see. Stealth. What's up, Stealth?
What's up with you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. You're a little muffled, but I can hear you. What's going on with you?
Man, make sure y'all check out that Comic View season. We just dropped the second episode, and I appreciate you having the comics down at your spot, man. So make sure y'all check out that new season of Comic View. FBA back.
There it is, my man. Oh yeah, we last time we did a comedy show, we had some producers from Comic View up there. So yeah, we had a ball. We got to do another event. I probably have something at the museum, probably in August. Let me see. Let's see who we got. Y'all raise your hands. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise those hands. Let's get you in here. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Brother Royale, let's get Royale in here. Royale. All right. What's up, Royale?
How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to go off of what dude from New Orleans was saying, and he ain't never told one lie, bro.
Yes, sir.
They mounds and everything in Louisiana, man. So yeah, just keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. All right. Let me see. We'll get a couple of more good ones in here. Y'all got to come through with it. Y'all got to come on through with it. Let me see. I want to see them hands up in the chat. Let's see those hands up in there. Thank y'all for the gifts, by the way. Darius, you want to get on? All right, Darius, hop on, Darius. Mr. Darius, hop on, sir.
How I do that?
What's up, brother? Darius. Oh, Lord. This brother don't know how to work his phone. Darius. Darius, what are you in there doing, brother?
How I do it? Okay.
Oh, Lord. Darius.
Oh, my God. How I do it?
Okay, we hear you, Darius. You can just start talking, brother. Can you hear me?
How I do it? How I do it?
You're doing it. You're doing it now, Darius.
Oh, I'm doing it now. How I get on the mic?
We hear you, Darius. We hear you, brother.
Damn, Flex. How I do it? Like,
okay. All right, thank you, brother. Shit, do it by yourself. Just do it that way. God damn. Tell me how you do it. Nigga, you're doing it. God damn. Oh, God. Come on, y'all. Y'all gonna make me go back to Twitter with all this bullshit. Y'all messing with my sinuses. How I do it, Tyreek? What I do? What I'm supposed to do, Tyreek? You're just talking. Huh? I don't see nothing. I don't feel nothing. I don't smell nothing. I don't where the button at. Brother, I hear you. Huh? Is that you, Tyreek? What I'm supposed to do? How I do it? Am I doing what I'm supposed to damn do? I'm confused. I don't even know why he was confused. Why was he confused? Good Lord. I don't even understand why. Okay, the brother, just talk. Huh? How I do it, Tyreek? It's a clause. Oh, God. Damn, man. You were doing it, sir. You were doing it. God. Okay, man. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. God. Okay, let's try it again. Let me see. Let me get, who is this? Who we got? Okay, let's try C. All right, C, are you in here, C? What's up, C? C, are you in here? Okay, C ain't saying nothing. All right, let's try. We're going to try one more. All right, let's try one more. Raise your hands. Yeah, I'm going on X tomorrow. Shit. Who is Wade? Where's Wade? Wade, where's Wade? Oh, that's Wade. Jamaican Wade. That's Jamaican Wade. What's up, Wade? Let's get Wade in. Let's get our Jamaican brother. What's up, Wade?
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? How you been?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you, Wade?
Hey, I do have a question. You know, I first came to find out about you through the Breakfast Club. Yeah, I used to watch your videos all the time. That's how I came on to Hidden Colors. But I do have a question, and you don't have to answer this if you have underlying relationships you got to preserve, but is there a reason you haven't been on the Breakfast Club in a while? Because I was looking, you know, I like them and I like you. So I was wondering, do you guys not collaborate anymore? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I was just curious.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people ask that. Thank you, brother. I'm cool with those guys. I'm still cool with Charlamagne and those guys. I haven't talked to them in a minute. I think that somebody from the top, because, you know, they're clicked in with the DNC. You know, the Breakfast Club is damn near like a satellite. It's like an auxiliary for the damn DNC, if we're going to be honest. And I think somebody from the DNC and their corporate people say, hey, don't have Tariq on there. I think that's what it is. I think some people from the DNC, you know, kind of gave them a little memo, because the DNC, their top brass, they have memos about me being passed around all the time. I know this firsthand. I've had people who work with the DNC tell me about these little memos they pass around about me. Yeah, ain't that some shit? There's some scandal going on with Rock Nation and all that with them, right? Ain't there some, like, a little scandal going on? When Funk Master Flex was, I don't know the gist of it. Y'all help me out. What's going on with that? Because all the ins and outs of like this little thing with Rock Nation and the Breakfast Club, And I know Funkmaster Flex was calling it out. What's the gist of that? Where my New Yorkers, some of my New York people might be abreast to. What's the gist of that? Yeah. Are they saying that some of those guys were on the Rock Nation's payroll? Man, okay. Yeah. Listen, these people, a lot of them are controlled by that DNC money. These people who own those stations, these are major, contributors to the DNC. They're clicked in with the DNC for their licenses and all that stuff. So they got these real close relationships to the DNC. So the DNC likes to control, hey, like, if we give you this license and all that, we want to make sure whoever you put on air, they're not going to sway people away from us. You know? So it's one thing for them to have like a conservative on, like a Candace Owens or even a Byron Donalds, because a Democrat voter, you know that you're dealing with, you're watching a person who's a conservative, who's a Republican. So that person is not going to sway a Democrat voter. You know what I'm saying? A Candace Owens, she's not going to recruit a Democrat voter. She's too much of a mammy. So if a Democrat voter sees Candace Owens, oh, that's an op. She's an op mammy. If you hear me talking, because I'm not a Republican, I'm nonpartisan. A person listening to me, they're like, oh shit, he's making sense. I better get something for my damn vote. You see? Or I ain't gonna vote for nobody. They don't want to have that on there. You think these people didn't send down memos? Yeah? Why you think Roland and those guys always taking shots at me? Yeah, they get memos to do that shit. Yeah? So yeah, that's what that is. But again, I'm cool with those guys. But nobody owes me a platform. If people want to have me on, that's fine. But I don't look at it as nobody owing me a platform. That's their platform, your politics, your rules, and I get it. I get that. But here's the thing. When a lot of these corporate entities have to rely on the white establishment to dictate who you can have on, and people can kind of feel that, it starts to feel inauthentic. You see, if your brand is supposed to be authenticity, that's going to start taking a hit on your brand because people can see that. Just like when they had them punks up there. That was a bad look. When they had them punks up there talking all that shit, they had Malik Yoba in there. Oh, God, that was a train wreck. Oh, that was a major train wreck. Talking about step up and, oh, God. That was a damn disaster. Lord. Man. That thing was a hot mess, man. But hey, everybody got their lane, man. Let me see. Y'all raise your hand. Raise your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hands. Let me see. Do we have tennis up in here? Okay. Y'all raise. Let me get you in here. Y'all raise your hands. What's up, Jess? Listen. What's up, Jess? I see you, love. All right. Let me see who we got. Yeah, man. When your entity starts looking inauthentic, and you ain't talking about something that everybody's talking about, this delineation, everybody's talking about it. You can't ignore the delineation. This delineation is heavy. That's the most popular thing on social media, people talking about delineation. And if your entities are not talking about that, y'all look out of touch, which works out for us. It works out for the grassroots media because people come to us to get the real. Yeah. So that legitimizes us. You know? So y'all, we got to be cool on Malik Yoba. Malik Yoba, shout out to Malik Yoba. I was roasting Malik Yoba so bad. Malik Yoba hit me in the DMs like, "Hey man, you light me up, man. You got to chill." So let me chill because I don't want to seem like I'm bullying nobody. Yeah, I was kind of clowning Malik Yoba, and I think Malik is a great actor. I think he's a great actor. I think he is a phenomenal actor, but I was kind of clowning a little bit too hard on him. When Malik was all that step up shit, and when he basically came out, quote unquote. Come on now. Yeah, Malik. You look it up. I don't even know what I can say here on TikTok. Y'all have to look up his get down. So he likes the Mr. Sisters. So I put up I put up a meme. It kind of went overboard. It was funny as hell though. It was funny as hell. And where's that? I wish I could show the meme, but I'm not. It was, I said, let me be nice. I don't want to be mean-spirited. It was a little mean-spirited, but it was funny. It was funny. I put up a meme about Malik Yoba. Y'all know, y'all remember those memes where a few years ago where it would be like some cartoon characters, like a man sitting on a bed texting a woman, and on the bottom, the woman is texting the man back. Y'all remember that meme? And there was different versions of that meme a few years ago. Y'all remember that? It would be the man on the top in the top panel, and then the woman on the bottom. What was the name of those memes? Did those have a name to them? What was the name of them? Because there was a lot of people doing different versions of them. Yeah. So it was basically showing kind of ironic interactions, how men talk and how women react. It was kind of that thing. I don't know if there was a name for those memes, but I did one where the dude was on the top panel texting. He was like, "It was good to see you. That pussy was good last night." And on the bottom, it was Malik Yoba in drag texting back, "That wasn't pussy." He said, Malik was like, "Hey, bro, come on, man. Come on, bro. You can't do me like this." That was kind of messed up, if I think about it. That was kind of messed up. I shouldn't have done that. But that shit was freaking hilarious. That was funny. I'm sorry. I gotta find. No, I'm not gonna post it because I told Malik I'm not gonna do that to you, brother. I said no, I'm not. That's what I want to be a bully. Because if I joke about somebody, I want them to be in on the joke. He got offended. He got very offended. I said, "Okay, brother, you right. I'm not trying to just be offending people just to be doing it." So, So shout out to Malik. I'm not no bully, man. I'm not a bully, man. And if that, I don't want the man to be beat up over his preference. That's his preference. So, yeah, man. Let me see, Sister Bridget. I thought I had. Hold on, where you? I keep seeing you, Sister Bridget. Where you at, beloved? Oh man. But yeah, but a lot of people are looking at the Breakfast Club funny. Like, yeah, they don't. Y'all act like this delineation ain't popping off the way it's popping off. So yeah, y'all trying to ignore that. But again, I think their paymasters, the people on top, told them to not even talk about this delineation because that messes up votes. You understand? That messes up the votes. And, they have to push DNC agendas. Man, let me see. Y'all, let's get one more, guys. Let's get one more. All right. Let me get one more in here. Y'all raise those hands. What's up, man? FBA is a clause. Thank you for the gift. Hold on. Let's get let me see. Hold on. Where we at? Let me see. Let me see. I've not talked to Charlemagne in years. I've not talked to him. And I'm still cool with Charlemagne. I don't have a problem with Charlemagne. All right. Who is that? Come on now. Y'all raise your hands. Come on, man. Let me see. Sister Bridget. Let's get Sister Bridget in here. I ain't talked to Sister Bridget in a minute. What's up, Sister Bridget?
Yes, sir. How are you, Tariq? You doing?
I've been good. How you been doing? How you been doing, dear?
You know, Tariq, I've been going through a little bit. I might be becoming a new mom.
Really? No,
There's a little,
really? Well, you
yeah, a
gonna
little,
adopt
a little
somebody?
trauma in my family, a little foster mom. You know,
I
a
was
little
about to
trauma
say.
in my family. I have to take my two little cousins, and they were missing and runaways, and they were getting beat and slapped around, and
Oh, damn.
things like that. But yeah,
I
it
love
was really
TikTok shop. I
horrible.
love TikTok shop. Now, are they?
I'm so
now,
sorry if I said something wrong.
Now, how old are they?
One is 11. On the 4th of July, she turned 11. And then the other one's 14. And I put a video out there where she was getting attacked and just really just screaming at the top of her lungs. And you could hear the switch or the smacks or the stick or whatever it was that was going up against her and everything like that. And a lot of people reached out and we got her out of there, so that was really good. Got both of them out.
Now, who are they staying with? Who are they staying with?
They're staying right now with friends. DHS did take custody.
No. Come on. But who was doing the abuse? Who was beating them?
It was a sister of the mother.
Okay, I'm trying to follow.
She was just using very foul language and talking to them really unruly, calling them all kind of MFs and B words and things like that. It was just horrible.
Okay.
And I've always told them, because I've known them since they were babies, like, if you ever get in trouble and you ever need someone, you make sure you call me. You always have my number and call me. So I rode by and I found them like behind a mall under a staircase. And I just took them to my house and just took them to the police station and everything and had that taken care of. And then they started to try to arrest me a couple of days later, like for KP. I don't even know if I can say that on TikTok, for KP.
Yeah.
And things like that. And so then we had to straighten that out. And so finally a friend stepped in, a friend of the family stepped in and took them, but she can't only do it like temporarily. She doesn't want to actually be a foster mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but this is what I wanted to tell you, Tariq. Listen, Tariq, if you try to go back over to Twitter, we're going to hunt you down like a runaway slave because you belong to us now. We love you. I don't know why you don't have a blue check by now.
I know. Yeah, I got to holler at TikTok about that. I got to holler.
And another thing I wanted to tell you, Mr. Tariq, listen, I'm out here. I'm in Mexico, but I'm out here in California. I was in Ahola Beach today. Okay. And I want to know when you're going to have like a hidden museum event, because I came out here to California because I want to go to the museum that you provide.
Today's episode of Leave Black People Alone, Why Don't Ya? A white woman gets the brakes beat off of her after smashing a woman's windshield at a gas station on Normandy Boulevard. I think this is in LA. Just watch this video and see how, as the scripture says, what one sows, that shall they also reap. Just watch. Oh.
You have my shit right. You gonna take for your shit. She got what? I don't need cars. You want to do my money car? Yeah, tell me. Yeah, tell me. Get my shit. Yes, bro, you need to put charges on her. You need to put charges on her.
Another day on Normandy Boulevard. Smash the phone.
You have my shit. I got some film. You're going to jail. You got my shit. You can't go to jail. You broke the windshield. You broke my windshield. Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. You understand that? No, it's not that, baby. She got one in jail for that. She got you. We'll show you. We'll show you. Come get some shit. Come get some shit. You lied to me, and you was calling me racist. You gotta tell me, first off, I don't know why you keep looking at her. I'm driving. I'm the car. I should kill this one. I'm gonna keep the car out the whole foot. Right? They just ride the circle. Bitches, hell is up here. You come out of you doing that shit in front of me. You doing that shit be weird. But you see, I should get you on those people. Stop doing dumb shit.
Another day on Normandy Boulevard.
What's the part shit? I know like dog shit, bro. Sit down, James.
So the video starts with the elderly, non-melanated lady from the Caucasus Mountains getting out of her car and smashing the lady's windshield. I don't know if that was a billy club she used, a bat, a golf club, whatever it was, she almost sealed her fate by doing so. Now, we don't know the premise. Why would that lady get out of her car and smash that black woman's car like that? I don't know. She thought that, you know, this was once again the 1950s where white people could just do anything to black people. But no, this ain't that and that ain't this. So you saw the lady grab her, and she grabbed her and actually took the weapon from the lady. She took the weapon from the lady and went to whamming on her. And then, you know, luckily, you know, she had a person with a cool head with her, because then he tried to break it up. He tried to intervene. He actually took the weapon from her. And I mean, this is the level of anger that the young sister had towards the non-melanated specimen, because she literally bit her. Anytime that you don't have to bite and you bite, that shows the level of fury. You know, most of the time people bite somebody when they got them in a chokehold or something. You got to bite to get out. No, this Joker had the lady by the head and I just want to, and then of course, she commenced to steady beating her. And then after she let her go, the white lady got in there. Well, I just want to talk. Like, if you wanted to talk, man, we should have went to a coffee shop, a Starbucks. You should have joined a book club to discuss some books. That ain't how you want to talk when you get out of the car and smash somebody's window. And now she's like, nah, you gonna pay me. You gonna pay me. The lady gets out again. She drags her. The whole thing, once again, just reeks of white privilege. If you ask me, I'm going to get out of my car, smash your windshield, and expect you not to do nothing to me. This happened I saw it. Somebody just sent it to me. I don't know when this happened. Normandy Boulevard, I think that is in LA, somewhere like that. If you can tell me another Normandy Boulevard, I know the lady had Florida plates. The black girl did. She was just wanting her money back. Look, she had the GS 300 Lexus, got smashed up. Yeah, and I don't know. I think, maybe they hit each other or something. I think the lady may have hit her car before this, but regardless of the fact, white people, please leave. That lady has some daggone gym shorts and a daggone sports bra on. That ain't the type of chick that you want to mess with. She kept saying cuz too, so she might have been a part of the Crip constituency. Nevertheless, listen, man, this is what we're talking about. Just leave us alone. We're not bothering anybody. And we just want the same pursuit of the American dream, which is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's all we want. So just give us that. Let us chill. Let us, do what we do. But mind you, if you don't, then of course you may be subject to disciplinary actions that you've seen in this video. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782.
Go see. Follow me.